Infinix just dropped a new entry device, the Infinix Hot 60 Pro Plus. One of its main selling points, its insanely thin design. In fact, according to Infinix, this phone takes the title of the world's slimmest phone, at least in this price segment. Looking at the specs, it's not just about looks. The phone brings solid features that are quite surprising given its entry-level standing. But the real question is, can it stand up well against another budget favorite like the Redmi Note 14? That's what we're gonna find out here in this comparison review. So without further ado, I'm your host CJ. Let's jump into the video. Kicking things off with design, each phone has its own distinct look. Of course, we have the Infinix Hot 60 Pro Plus boasting that ultra-thin frame, measuring only 5.95mm. It's also incredibly light in the hand, weighing only 155 grams. With that, the Hot 60 Pro Plus feels a lot more comfortable to hold, especially when combined with its curved body. Our unit is in the titanium silver colorway, and no, it's not made of titanium, just to be clear. Instead, the phone's frame is made of plastic, and the matte back features a glass fiber composite that Infinix claims to offer some level of impact resistance. Also at the back, you'll see the 3 vertically aligned camera sensors. However, only one of them is an actual camera. Moving on to the Redmi Note 14, this one follows a more conventional look. The phone sports a flat-edge design and it features an all-plastic build. It's not as thin as the competition as expected, with a thickness of 8.16mm and about 197 grams of weight. Still, its overall design is equally pleasing to the eyes. It's got a matte back as well and a stylish camera island housing 3 working sensors. Now for added protection, both phones do get dust and splash resistance, but only the Hot 60 Pro Plus offers a stronger level of ingress protection, rated at IP65. The Redmi Note 14 is left with IP54, which is still pretty decent. That said, crafting a phone with a razor-thin profile is quite an impressive feat by Infinix, especially for an entry-level device. While design is always a matter of personal taste, the stronger build quality and that sleek frame of the Hot 60 Pro Plus are hard to overlook. Therefore, I'm giving the point to Infinix this round. Flip both phones over and you'll see vibrant AMOLED displays. The Hot 60 Pro Plus boasts a larger 6.78-inch curved AMOLED screen, a higher 1.5K resolution, up to 144Hz refresh rate, and a peak brightness of 4500 nits for HDR. Meanwhile, the Redmi Note 14 gets a 6.67-inch Full HD Plus AMOLED screen to 120Hz refresh rate and 1800 nits of HDR peak brightness. It's a flat screen, so there's no glare on the edges or accidental touches to worry about. They both have decently sized bezels that aren't as thick, with just their chins slightly being thicker. Talking about the visuals, both models deliver a suitable experience. Colors are nice with good contrast and true blacks. You can expect to watch all your Netflix shows in HD as they both support Widevine L1 and up to 144p streaming on YouTube. For audio quality, both phones generally provide a decent soundstage with different audio tuning. The Infinix Hot 60 Pro Plus gets sound by JBL, and the Redmi Note 14 gets Dolby Atmos support. However, I must say, all that audio tuning doesn't really make a difference to their raw audio output. The highs and mids are okay, though they have very little amount of bass. Still, we get a level of audio immersion since both support dual stereo speakers to boot. Moreover, on the Redmi Note 14, you can still use your choice of wired earphones or headphones since it retains the 3.5mm audio jack. The Hot 60 Pro Plus gets the newer Gorilla Glass 7i, and the Redmi Note 14 gets an older Gorilla Glass 5. Each glass layer essentially does the same thing to resist scratches and drops. But the Gorilla Glass 7i on the Infinix phone presumably performs stronger protection. In terms of biometric security, both support on-the-display fingerprint sensors along with face recognition. The unlocking experience is somewhat fast for both, but sometimes there's still a tiny bit of delay. This round, it's just fair to give the point to the Infinix Hot 60 Pro Plus, offering a slightly better, larger, and brighter display. Now, let's talk about the performance. Under the hood, the Hot 60 Pro Plus is equipped with the MediaTek Helio G200 configured with 8GB of RAM and 256GB of internal storage. The Redmi Note 14 also features the MediaTek chip, the Helio G99 Ultra, and comes with the same config as the Infinix phone. In terms of raw power, there's not much of a difference to see here. In fact, our benchmark results back this up with the Antutu score passing the 400K mark. With the Helio G200 being the newer chipset, it delivers a slightly better CPU and graphical performance, but not quite powerful enough for heavy gaming. Setting all the technicalities aside, both phones will perform just fine on your day-to-day tasks such as browsing the web, working with some productivity apps, and casual gaming on the side. Graphic-intensive games like Wuthering Waves and Zenless Zero were technically playable on the lowest graphical settings, but as you would expect, there were lots of stuttering and lag. On the bright side, both handled light games such as Mobile Legends and Asphalt Legends Unite fairly well, consistently hitting stable high frame rates with some occasional lags. That said, I'm giving this round a tie since there's barely any difference in terms of processing power. For optics, the Redmi Note 14 appears to have the upper hand, at least on paper. Like I said, all three sensors here are actual cameras consisting of a 108-megapixel main, a 2-megapixel depth sensor, and a 2-megapixel macro lens. Meanwhile, the Hot 60 Pro Plus features a 50-megapixel main shooter along with the unspecified auxiliary lens. As we always say in our reviews, high megapixel count doesn't necessarily equate to better image quality, as that holds true in this competition. Images captured for both phones bring the same level of quality with decent sharpness, near accurate colors, and adequate amount of dynamic range. Phones generally turn out well on both phones, especially in well-lit environments. In low light, however, the images do look okay at first, but once you zoom in or pixel peep, you'll start to notice that the subjects appear a bit soft, and that applies to both phones, mind you. In terms of video capture, the Hot 60 Pro Plus can shoot up to 2K at 30 frames per second, and the Redmi Note 14 is capped at 1080p at 60 frames per second. The higher resolution is commendable as it provides slightly more detail in your shots, and the overall video quality looks suitable enough in most shooting conditions. The clarity is on point as long as there's ample lighting, the colors look nice, and both phones cover a good amount of dynamic range. While the Redmi Note 14 does have more cameras, which gives you options like macro photography, the Hot 60 Pro Plus holds its own with better image processing at times and higher quality 2K videos. So for this round, I'm giving the point to the Infinix Hot 60 Pro Plus. Battery-wise, the Redmi Note 14 packs a 5500 mAh unit, which is slightly larger as compared to the Infinix Hot 60 Pro Plus having a 5160 mAh capacity. You might expect the Redmi to last longer thanks to its bigger battery, but our benchmark results tell a different story. In the PC battery mark test, the Infinix Hot 60 Pro Plus actually lasted a bit longer, clocking in at 15 hours and 9 minutes, while the Redmi Note 14 managed to get 14 hours and 44 minutes of runtime. On top of that, the Infinix Hot 60 Pro Plus also features faster charging at 45 watts as compared to the Redmi Note 14 that caps out at 33 watts. Not to mention, the former also supports bypass charging, so there's that. While the larger battery pack is typically preferred, I may have to lean onto the one with a more efficient battery consumption. So I'm giving the point to the Hot 60 Pro Plus for this round, garnering a 3-point lead in this comparison so far. Perhaps the better battery efficiency is due to the fact that the Infinix Hot 60 Pro Plus may have a lighter OS than the competition. The phone runs Android 15 out of the box with XOS 15 on top. As for the Redmi Note 15, it ships with Android 15 out of the box, but I now have it upgraded to Android 15 with HyperOS 2 overlay. While there were lots of bloatware for both devices, I found the Redmi Note 14 a bit more frustrating to use because the ads are much more intrusive. You'll get ad notifications, and some system apps like themes or get apps even show full screen banners when opened. It gets especially annoying when all I want to do is something simple like changing my ringtone. That led me to think that XOS might be actually the more lightweight OS. And there are small touches I genuinely appreciate, like the blur effect on the notification and control panels. On the Redmi, those panels just have a plain gray background, which feel a bit less polished and visually appealing to me. Regardless, both softwares still have a nice UI design. Unfortunately, neither brand has shared a clear update policy, but you can generally expect at least 1 or 2 major Android updates and around 3 years of security patches. Connectivity-wise, both phones cover the basics: 4G, Wi-Fi 5, Bluetooth, and GPS. But only the Infinix Hot 60 Pro Plus includes NFC, which also lets you store access cards for added convenience. Interestingly, only the Redmi Note 14 supports expandable storage via a hybrid microSD card slot. As for the Hot 60 Pro Plus, it likely skips the microSD card slot. Keep the device as slim as possible. On the software front though, I did have a better experience with the Hot 60 Pro Plus, and it ships with the newer version of Android, so it gains another point this round. So we've come to the final part of this video. And while it may already be clear who came out on top in this comparison, let's still talk about the price. The Redmi Note 14 retails for 8,999 pesos and 9,999 pesos for the 128 and 256 variants respectively. On its own, it stands out as one of the best choices in the entry-level segment, offering a quality AMOLED screen, decent cameras, and suitable performance. But then again, the Infinix Hot 60 Pro Plus came through with surprisingly strong specs, the kind you'd expect from higher mid-range models. Features like a 1.5K AMOLED display with 144Hz refresh rate, a capable 50-megapixel Sony sensor, and solid battery life are rare at this price point. Of course, its ultra-slim profile is the cherry on top. As of making this video, Infinix has yet to announce the official pricing of the Hot 60 series. However, based on last year's Hot 50 Pro Plus, which retailed for 8,499 pesos, we can expect the new model to be priced similarly, give or take. Long story short, if you're after style, a sharper display, and cleaner user experience with few standout features, the Infinix Hot 60 Pro Plus is hard to beat in this price range. But if you're going for a more established brand like Xiaomi and value things like expandable storage and flexible camera setup, the Redmi Note 14 is still a solid pick. But what do you think of this comparison between the Infinix Hot 60 Pro Plus versus the Redmi Note 14? Are you Team Infinix or Team Xiaomi, at least in this comparison? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. If you find this video helpful or informative, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon to get notified of our future videos. Follow us on our socials, that's Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok. And check out youtech.com for the latest tech news and reviews. Once again, this has been CJ, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye! See you later!